Right, good morning and welcome to the next vlog, video, whatever you want to call it. We're now getting on with these antique dining chairs. You can just see over my shoulder. They're straightforward. There's nothing wrong with them other than the cover that the customer had on them previously was dated. So they want it changed. So our job here is just to change the cover and re-nail the seats. We're going to change the nailing on the seats a little bit. It had strip nails on it, which I don't like, and they're not really period correct. The strip nails are the sort of thing you see on pub furniture back in the day. So we're going to loose nail it, give it a better finish, and put the customer's new cover on it. So these should be fairly straightforward. So let's crack on with them. Incidentally, something a little bit different I've just done. I didn't bother showing you it, but I'll show you the end result. Is for a friend of mine. It's just something bright and a bit quirky. Right, here you have it. Friend's crash helmet needed new lining, so he asked me if I could line it for him. Yes, we've lined it, but he doesn't know quite what with. I hope he gets the joke. Well, hopefully my friend sees the funny side of it. I think he will, to be honest, but there you go. Asked me to do you a favour for free. That's what you're going to get. I think it looks great, that crash helmet lining anyway. So let's get on with these chairs. I'll just show you the fabric they're going to be in. This is the fabric. It's like a mottled effect printed velvet. So it's amazing what they do now. These companies just buy the fabric in, and this is actually printed. The same sort of thing as your laser printer, but on a grand scale. It's where a lot of these fancy fabrics that we've been using lately has come from. And here's one of these balloon back chairs a little bit closer. These are reproduction. They're lovely reproductions. They've got the proportions right on the legs and the fluting, so they're certainly not a cheap reproduction, but nevertheless they're a modern reproduction. So I need to cut the fabrics and get this on. You can join me for that. one done in quick time for you. They're relatively straightforward. As I say, we're just going over the calico that's there already. So, you know, majority of the hard work's already been done. It's just a knack of pulling the cover over. Initially, they had a mismatch of 2 pleats, 1 pleat, long pleats, short pleats on the original covers, which I didn't think was very good. Normally on a round corner, which this is, a round corner, we like to put 2 pleats, a V pleat, equal lengths, keep it all uniform on both sides. And that should be the only pleating that you need to put in the job. Again, sharp Stanley knife to cut it off, because we're going to be running loose nails around here, which you'll see later on. You can see underneath the original bottom cloth and the original fire label, giving it away a bit that these are reproduction, because it's got foam in it. So 9 more to do. I will do the next one a bit more in depth for you, so you can see a bit more about what is done to produce this, how we pull, where we make our cuts, etc. Right, so here's the next one. We'll try and show you a little bit more detail of how we do this. So let's get on with it. So we're laying the fabric on. I'm checking the pile on the velvet. It travels from front to back. So when you get out of the chair, you're actually brushing the pile down. If it was the other way round, you'd be brushing the pile up as you got out of the chair. So that's why we do that. So place the fabric centrally, so we're having equal amounts of overhang all the way around. Just going to tuck that through the back there. I'm going to tuck the fabric down the legs just to hold that there. Sorry about that, I just had a phone call, so back to it. So I'm just going to put a temporary staple on each side now, just about in the middle, so easing the cover over, like so. We're going to bring the staple, there is a line here above the show wood. You see that there, where you can see the white fabric comes down to. Doing everything we can to avoid putting a staple in this polished wood here. We don't want to damage that, because it's going to have to be repaired. Right, one on that side, one in this side. Putting a little bit of tension in it. Right, that's that. And also put one in the centre at the front. I'm looking to make sure it's centred by, if I pull it to the left, we see we've got creases going that way. Pull it to the right, we've got creases this way. So we're pulling it central, so we have an even amount of fabric on both sides. Staple in there. Right, to the backs. I'm now going to make a cut towards the back leg here. So let me put my regulator tool there. So I'm going to make a cut in the fabric like so. So we folded it across, and we're going to make a cut from there to there. This is to give us the maximum amount of cover on each side. In right up to the leg, and then pull the fabric down, tucking it down that leg, both sides. Do the same with the other leg. Okay. Let's start with the back of the chair. Hope you can see this. So here we've got plenty of fabric to cut off. So I'm going to bring this over, put a staple in the centre. Again, this may be removed. Fold this fabric back down here. So see, I've created a line here, a fold here, that follows this leg down here. So I know that if I cut this here, this is salvage and it can get tucked under. Don't want too much underneath there, it creates lumps and bumps. Tuck it in, fold it. Right, now I'm going to pull the fabric in that direction. You see, I'm going to pull it at an angle down here. So grab hold of it, fold it back, and pulling it towards the leg from the centre to get some tension in there. One staple in there. Same with the other side. Fold the fabric back, cut off the excess, fold it under, and again I'm pulling this way now diagonally, so bringing tension from this. So we're creating tension from that point to this point, so we get a nice curve. So that's pretty much done, bar filling it in, the staples here. So we're going to go around and do these sides of the leg. The process is the same. In this case, I'm going to have to cut a V here, again coming from the centre towards this corner of the leg here. We're going to fold this fabric round. Tuck that fabric under. Now we've got this piece to deal with. So this, because we made that cut here, we've got plenty of this fabric here to cut off and work with. If you cut it in the wrong place, you can find that you've got a cut here on the fabric and it's on show, it's no good. So you need to cut from the centre to that leg to give you the maximum on each side. Again, it's the same as what we did with the back. I now can cut that salvage off. Let's see if I can turn that round. Maybe that's better that way. Again, I'm now going to be pulling this, so we create a curve here eventually. So fold it under and then pull in this direction now. We want the fold coming down that side of that leg, nice and tight, up to the show wood, polished work, not in the polish work. That's that here. Same on the other side. The fabric under again, and again I'm pulling down this way to get the tension in it where we want it. So that's the back edge of the chair done pretty much. Now we're going to pull towards the front. So we're now going to pull to these corners. So we're pulling in this sort of direction. So we're creating an equal amount of fabric on either side of this corner. So we can get our pleats equal on the front of this chair. Easing it out with my hand. Finding the corner, the equal part, and put a staple in there. So now we've got this, so we can create an equal pleat there. Same on the other side. Right, I'm going to do the side pleat first. So grabbing hold of it, the fabric, and just pulling it, and it will create this pleat here. We want the pleat to start slightly wider and come down to an imaginary point in the centre of this leg here. Pulling the fabric from the back towards the front, folding under as necessary, create a nice pleat. Then we do the same with the front. So we get even pleats that come down to that centre leg. Fabric doesn't quite meet, but that's not a problem. We're going to have nails coming around there anyway. So long as they're all done the same, that doesn't matter about that gap there, as long as they're all the same. Do the same with this side. Smooth the cover out, pulling it towards that leg. Staple it there. Same with the front. Should have equal length pleats coming up there on both sides. So that's the hard bit done. That is the fabric on now. So we're finishing off with the staples, just pulling to create that curve. We're pulling to the corners each time and filling in with the staples. Front, I'm just going to pop that temporary staple out. I'm going to start by pulling the fabric from the front to the back again at an angle. We want to create a curve. Always run out of staples when you've got something just where you want it. It's a law. Then same towards the front. Now this is easier with these particular chairs because it's got the calico on it, and the calico's already doing the hard job of putting the tension in the foam, etc. So we're just almost laying this fabric over. We haven't got to put as much tension in it or do as much work with it as I may do normally if we didn't have calico on the chair. Right, as always, sharp Stanley knife. Always better to have it sharp than blunt. Less injuries are caused with a sharp Stanley knife over a blunt one. So running the knife blade against the edge of the moulding. With a sharp blade, we're putting less pressure on the blade to cut through the fabric, and therefore reducing the risk of the blade slipping and cutting something that we don't want it to. So there you have it. Covers on, nice and tight, like a drum. Ready to be nailed. I'll show you the nailing once I've upholstered the other 8 of these chairs. These videos aren't meant to be instructional, but I thought this was relatively quick and simple to show people how to do it. I've got 35 years of experience, so the pulling and cutting and so on is confidence and the experience, but have a go yourself, see how you get on, see if you can get your pleats equal on each corner. On a square corner we have 1 pleat on the front, on a round corner we put 2 on. Okay, so we'll be back with the nailing. So, good morning, welcome back to Hammond's Upholstery. We're going to be continuing with these dining chairs just over my shoulder. As you can see here, they just need nailing now. So I'll show you the nails and the tools that are used, and show the process of nailing these chairs. This is loose nails, it's very different to strip nails, so I'll also explain that as well. Right, so here's the loose nails. These are antique-on steel. Let's try and get that in focus there. There you go, it's a bit better. Antique-on steel with a standard upholstery nail with a 13mm shank, I believe. They come in this format. In a big box of them. These ones are from Heco's. So there you go, 1660 by 13mm box of those, antique-on steel, several different names, and lots of different suppliers and brands out there. These are the ones that we use from our supplier. So that's loose nails. These nails all put in individually. Some companies might use a air gun, etc. Had issues with the air nailers, so I don't use them. I don't find them any benefit. These are strip nails. There you go, strip nails, strips of nails. Every fifth nail is attached, so it's better for timber that's got a lot of damage to it. But personally, I think these remind me too much of pub furniture, cheaper furniture. So we're certainly not going to be putting them on here. This is the edge that we're going to be nailing along to cover the staples here. So which shouldn't be an issue. There is something else that we do at the end where we just mask up the nails and go along this edge with a bit of wax, just to cover any damage, etc. But we'll get to that in a second. So the tools for nailing. This is an upholstery hammer. Come in different formats, lots of different styles. It's got a relatively small head on it and then a smaller magnetic end for tacks. Let's get a tack and show you exactly what I mean. There you go. There you go, so tacks. Magnetised to the end. Done. Simple as that. So going to use these to nail. Is patience. You will bend a lot of them initially to start with. Still bend them as you go on. It just depends how you clout them. But we need to get a nice straight line along here. So let's find a good position for the camera and try and show you some nailing. Right. You should be able to hear me even if you can't see me. So let's get on with some nailing. A little bit awkward. I'm trying to keep myself out of shots here so you can see me nailing. There you go. And that's what happens when you try to do it at an awkward angle. You bend the nails. But anyway, as you can see, nails go in following the edge of the show wood, and the nails are also just touching each other. Don't want them overlapping. We want them just touching each other. We certainly don't want them on the show wood. So nailing can be hard on your fingers and very repetitive. Don't try and do them too quickly. Speed comes with accuracy and technique. So take your time. This particular chair, this show wood here, hasn't got a particularly large lip on it, so it's very easy to just overlap the nail onto that edge. We try not to. We want to keep these off the show wood. worst chairs that I've ever had to nail were slipper chairs, if you know what I mean. Google it, you should be able to see what they are. Leather buttons slipper chairs. Trying to get down the side of a 2-inch deep recess against show wood is extremely difficult. You have to just take your time to get them done. But there you go. So when we get to the last one, we may need to just adjust the gap between the nails so we get a nail that finishes on the end there. Hopefully you can see that there. I did clout the wood there once, if I'm honest with you, but I'll better touch it up. That's not an issue. So now we get on with the other sides of the chairs. There's approximately 100 nails to a metre of nailing, and there's probably 150 nails per chair. So have to crack on. So that's nailing. Don't know what else to say about that, to be honest. Lots of variations on nails, the colours, the sizes, etc. These are pretty standard size 1660s. We use a lot of them. Used a lot of them. I've not done any nailing for a little bit of time, so I would normally be a tad quicker than that. Normally looking at about 3 taps per nail. Tap, 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 in, tap, 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 in. But there you go. So that's nailing of this chair. I'll show you a finished chair, finished nailed chair. I'm just going to run some wax around the bottom edge of the nails. So there you go. So that's a nailed, loose nailed chair. Those in the know will spot loose nails over strip nails a mile away, and maybe perhaps you will do now as well. Strip nails are done for ease and speed, but they're not traditional and they do look very manufactured. These look a lot better. There you go. So a few more to go. 1 down, 9 to go. So anyway, that's these reproduction antique dining chairs recovered and nailed. I've just got to wax around the edge. That's self-explanatory, I think. Perhaps I will show you that, so I won't say goodbye just yet. I will show you waxing along the bottom edge. It's something that we do just to make sure we're 100% happy with the job. A lot of people wouldn't bother, but there you go. I will show you the waxing, so we'll be back to you when I'm doing that. Hopefully not too long. Right, so as I said earlier, I will show you how we just finish off these nails. What it is quite simply we use a black wax or Tudor oak stained wax just to go along that edge where the nails meet the wood, just to darken up any damage to that. So let's show you that process. It's quite simple really. The chair is masked up. It's just really that's really just to make sure we don't get anything on the cover. We shouldn't do normally, but it's just to make sure. And this is the wax that we're going to use. It's just your standard Tudor oak wax. You can use a brush to apply it and then rub it off with a cloth, any excess. So there you have it, 10 dining chairs back to the customer. He's very happy. Customer's own fabric, so a fairly straightforward job for us. Nailed. The sun's come out now, so that's going to do us for this video clip, I think. I hope you enjoy the content. As always, This one was a little bit more instructional, but normally these aren't meant to be instructional videos. They're just to show you what goes on in the workshop here. Hopefully you've learned something from doing the dining chairs. Have a go yourself if you feel like it. Let us know how you get on. But we're here if you need us, and hopefully you'll be talking to us and dropping your work in very soon. So until the next video, please like and subscribe. We'll see you soon. Cheers.